What a salacious headline. 5 best scenes from the worst comic book universe? The worst? How salacious. And what could be the worst comic book universe? Could it be the Marvel Netflix universe that's arguably being picked apart for the most popular scraps to put into the MCU properties? The declining quality of the Arrowverse? Maybe even the amazing Sony Spider universe of Venom, Morbius and Madam Web? As low down in the toilet as some of these universes are, today we are picking apart the internet's punching bag, the DCEU. For clarity, this is looking at the DC movies from 2013 to 2023, a decade of mid. A list of 16 movies that have been ridiculed for years, and my argument today is, hey internet, sometimes they don't suck too bad. To be honest, yes, some of the scripts and plot beats go a rough ways, but there are some spectacular scenes found within this dead universe that are examples of great characterization and iconic imagery. So what scene is the first up on this list? Okay, this first pick might be a bit salacious. Yeah, I'm only using that word because our editor hates it and I'm fairly sure I'm using it wrong. But salacious pick number 1, Harley Quinn vs. the Cops. Found in Birds of Prey, a fairly lackluster DCEU entry, and to be fair, could have probably performed better if it came out like 5 years earlier. We have Harley Quinn breaking into a police station to bust out Cassandra Cain. Now, on the surface, this scene sucks. Harley Quinn uses a fun gun to shoot police with a variety of confetti bullets, hacky sacks, and paint. But I'm here to change your mind with one sentence. Harley is crazy, and she is actually shooting them with a shotgun. We all know the clown-based villains of the DC universe are prone to hallucinations. With Harley being on an anti-hero kick, she probably doesn't want to be murking cops consciously. But why are the police so incredibly scared of a hacky sack gun towards the end? The paint exploding sound effects sound a bit more gory than normal liquid. And to be honest, it just elevates the scene just to imagine Harley is censoring it with her mind. With that small fan theory, this again becomes a peak Harley characterization, so please watch it again with this in mind. Next up is from Zack Snyder's Justice League. And thank God this was made. It fleshed out the universe a ton more than the Justice League ever did, and this scene in particular is key to that. This might shine even more because of the insanity that possessed Joss Whedon to delete this from the original movie. The scene I'm talking about, of course, is the Flash reversing time to stop the Mother Box's destruction of Earth scene. This actually completes Barry's arc of feeling like he doesn't belong with these more experienced heroes in the film, which otherwise would have been left unresolved. The visuals for such a strange concept as running backwards through time is done beautifully, accented by a swelling and powerful soundtrack. And lastly, in the original, the whole movie was a battle to save Superman, to bring Superman to the fight, and then for Superman to basically save the rest of them. Yes, Supes is strong. Yes, he's a great asset to the Justice League, but they are all heroes. The stakes are oddly more pressing when it takes all of them to play their part to defeat the villain. Our third scene is from James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Arguably this movie is a highlight of the DCEU, and what got Gunn his role as the head honcho of the DC universe going forward. Now, this scene is Peacemaker and Bloodsport breaking into a camp to save Rick Flag, all the while trying to one-up each other. And this scene shows why the Suicide Squad works. When compared to the godly might of other DC teams like the Justice League or the Titans, the Suicide Squad are screw-ups. Highly efficient, deadly screw-ups. And having Bloodsport and Peacemaker brutally eviscerate any combatants in their way, only to have it revealed that they were slaying allies the entire time, perfectly encapsulates what this team is. Our next scene, Superman's first flight from the Man of Steel. God damn it, this scene got everyone really keen for what the DCEU had to offer. The voiceover from Jor-El, his Kiwi Kryptonian daddy, is the guidelines for what makes a great Superman. He will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. If only we ever properly got to see that from Cavill. The all-star Superman vibes that this scene sets up are immaculate, but also the score, the raw power of Superman's flight after his initial stumble, and the rubble floating as he's about to launch off. This is Superman, Clark Kent and Kal-El all wrapped up into one. All facets of this character are on display in a beautiful and powerful scene. Our last scene was Superman at his best, and now for the night to his light. As Superman is to the day, Batman is to the night. Supes is an ideal for humanity, Batman is its punishment. Now, for sure that's an oversimplification, but there's a lot of things that Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice got right about Batman. No, the killing wasn't great. Neither was the pretty lackluster detective work or accidentally doing Lex Luthor's bidding. But I do need to give an honorable mention to the scenes in this movie where he is almost shotgunned by a cop as he hides in the upper corner of the room, and the scene where he is just straight up a horror movie villain taking out the goon on Lex Luthor's security footage. That's horrifying, but the scene that takes the cake is the warehouse fight scene. This is the scene I bring up at 3 AM at the pub when I have to defend Batfleck. This is every Arkham game fan's dream. Brutal, unforgiving, punishing. He is using gadgets, he's using his Bat-Foo skills. He is being smart with his approaches. We are going to willfully ignore the scene where he willingly lets a dude get blown up by a grenade. Not really his fault, it probably would have happened anyway. Batman is peak human intelligence, battle strategy, fighting prowess, and he has some cool gadgets that help him along the way. This singular scene showcases all of that. All of this with an intense and dark score. It's arguably the best the DCEU gave us and easily a top Batman cinematic moment. And with that, that brings us to the end of the video. Did I miss your favorite scene? Well, it was on purpose because it sucked. Argue with me in the comments, I will take you all on. Or alternatively, suggest something and we might make a part 2, but if we don't, it's because your suggestion sucked.